Long before William Harvey discovered blood circulation, it was believed that good health was a result of the balance of certain humors like black bile, yellow bile, phlegm, and blood inside the body. Further, persons with black bile were supposed to have a hot personality and fevers. This hypothesis had to be disregarded when it was realized that even people with black bile and blood circulating inside their body had normal body temperature. Health then came to be regarded as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being. However, when our body is infected with a disease, we are no longer healthy. Diseases can be of two types: infectious and non infectious. As the name suggests, infectious diseases are those that can be transmitted from one person to another, while some infectious diseases such as flu are very common. Others like AIDS are fatal. Diseases can be caused by a variety of organisms such as bacteria or fungi. All disease causing organisms are called pathogens. By the definition, all parasites are pathogens since they harm their host by living off them. Pathogens enter our body through various means, adapt to the environment inside the body, and multiply inside. They then interfere with the normal bodily functions, causing either morphological or functional damage. Some common pathogens are bacteria, viruses, helminths, and fungi. The bacteria Salmonella typhi causes typhoid fever in humans. Usually, these bacteria enter the small intestine by a contaminated food or water and migrate to other organs by the blood. Did you know that typhoid Mary is a classic case in medicine where a professional cook called Mary Mallon caused several typhoid outbreaks through the food she prepared? This happened because Mary Mallon was a healthy typhoid carrier herself. She did not display any common symptoms of typhoid like high fever, weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache, and loss of appetite. Typhoid fever can be confirmed by a Vidal test. In extreme cases, typhoid can cause intestinal perforation and death. Another bacteria like Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae cause pneumonia that infects the alveoli of the human lungs. As a result of the infection, the air-filled alveolar sacs are filled with fluid, and this causes respiratory problems. Fever, chills, cough, and headache are other symptoms of pneumonia. Sometimes, in severe cases, the lips and fingernails turn grey to blue in color. A healthy person acquires this infection by inhaling the droplets, aerosols released by an infected person, or even by sharing glasses and utensils with an infected person. Dysentery, plague, and diphtheria or other diseases caused by bacteria. Viruses are not behind when it comes to causing infectious disease. Rhinoviruses are responsible for causing the common cold. Did you know that the common cold is one of the most commonly infected human diseases? Unlike pneumonia, it infects only the nose and respiratory passage instead of the lungs. Nasal congestion and discharge, a sore throat, headache, and hoarseness are other symptoms of the common cold, which lasts for about 3 to 7 days. During this time, the disease can spread by inhaling droplets from a cough or sneeze of an infected person or through contaminated articles of the infected person. That is, pens, books, doorknobs, computer keyboards, and other similar objects. Helminths like Ascaris and Eukaryaria are also responsible for causing pathogenic diseases in human beings. Ascaris, the common roundworm, is an intestinal parasite that causes ascariasis. It is characterized by internal bleeding, muscular pain, fever, anemia, and blockage of the intestinal passage. Since eggs of the parasite are also excreted along with the feces of human beings, soil, water, and plants are also infected. The infection spreads to a healthy person through contaminated food, vegetables, and fruits. Eukaryaria bancrofti is a filarial worm that causes the disease called elephantiasis or filariasis. Filariasis is characterized by chronic inflammation of the organs. The filarial worm occupies the lymphatic system, usually in the lower organs such as the legs, where they continue to live for years. The genital organs are often affected, resulting in gross deformities. Filariasis can be transmitted to healthy people by female mosquito vector. A vector is an insect or any living carrier, such as female mosquitoes in the case of filariasis, that transmits infectious disease. Other pathogens such as fungi like Microsporum, Trichophyton, and Epidermophyton cause ringworm that appears as tri-scaly lesions or various parts of the body such as the skin, nails, and scalps. These lesions are also causes intense itching. They thrive in skin folds like the groin or between the toes, as fungi thrive in heat and moisture. Ringworms can be transmitted to healthy individuals by sharing towels, combs, and clothes of an infected person. Therefore, pathogens like bacteria, viruses, and helminths are responsible for causing some common extremely infectious diseases. Of the many infectious diseases that exist across the globe, one that affects 40% of the world's population is malaria. According to the World Health Organization or WHO, malaria kills a child in every 30 seconds. Worldwide, it is estimated that there are 300 to 500 million clinical cases of malaria every year. Did you know that malaria is caused by a tiny parasitic protozoan called Plasmodium? P. vivax, P. malaria, and P. falciparum or different species of parasitic protozoa were responsible for different types of malaria. Of these, Plasmodium falciparum causes the most serious and fatal type of malaria. Plasmodium enters the human body in its infectious form known as sporozoites through the bite of the female Anopheles mosquito. Sporozoites travel through the blood to reach the liver, where they initially multiply via asexual reproduction to form merozoites inside the liver cells. The liver cells burst and the merozoites are released into the blood. Then they attack the red blood cells or RBCs by multiply again via asexual reproduction and leading to the rupture of RBCs. The rupture of RBCs releases a toxic substances called hemozoin, which causes chills and high fevers every 3 to 4 days. As the released parasites go on to infect new RBCs, some merozoites develop into sexually differentiated forms such as male and female gametocytes. When the female Anopheles mosquitoes bites an infected person, these male and female gametocytes enters the mosquito's body. They further fertilize and develop inside the mosquito's intestine to form sporozoites. These sporozoites migrate from the intestine to the salivary glands of the mosquitoes, where they are then stored. Later, when these mosquitoes bite a healthy individual, the sporozoites are introduced into the human body, repeating the same chain of events. You may notice that the malarial parasite Plasmodium requires two hosts, human beings and mosquitoes, to complete its life cycle. The life cycle includes two phases, the asexual one in human beings and the sexual phase in the female Anopheles mosquito. Also, it is Plasmodium the cause of malaria, while the female Anopheles mosquito merely acts as a vector, a transmitting agent. Apart from malaria, amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery is another disease caused by protozoan called Entamoeba histolytica that lives in the large intestine of human beings. It is characterized by symptoms such as discharge of blood and mucus in the feces, severe pain in the abdomen, and constipation. Houseflies act as vectors by transmitting the parasite from the feces of an infected person to food and water. It is by consuming such contaminated food and water heavy infection is transmitted. Therefore, maintaining both personal and public hygiene is crucial for the prevention and control of several infectious diseases such as common cold, typhoid, polio, and diphtheria. It is easy to take care of personal hygiene by keeping our body clean and consuming clean food and water. Public hygiene, however, requires proper disposal of waste and excreta, periodic cleaning and disinfection of water bodies like tanks, reservoirs, and pools, and hygienic public catering services. Keeping water and food clean is important because most infectious diseases like typhoid, amoebiasis, and ascariasis are spread by vectors that are transmitted through contaminated food and water. Further, it is important to control or eliminate vectors belong with their breeding places. No water should be allowed to stagnate around residential areas. Even household coolers should be regularly cleaned. Insecticides or kerosene oil should be sprayed in ditches, drains, and swamps. Some fish like gambusia that feed on mosquito larvae should be bred in ponds and lakes. Doors and windows should be provided with a wire mesh to keep mosquitoes outside. And at night, mosquito nets and mosquito repellents should be used. Undertaking such control measures prevents the transmission of diseases such as malaria and filariasis, which are transmitted by mosquito vectors. Even diseases like dengue and chikungunya, which are transmitted by a mosquito vector called Aedes, can be avoided by implementing these control measures. For airborne diseases like pneumonia and the common cold, care must also be taken that contact with the infected person and their belongings are avoided. While some, like smallpox, have been eradicated completely, others such as polio, diphtheria, pneumonia, and tetanus can be controlled to a large extent by vaccines. With new emerging developments in biotechnology, several antibiotics and drugs have been discovered that are effectively used in the treatment of infectious diseases. Therefore, though malaria and amoebiasis are caused by protozoans, they are transmitted by vector mosquitoes. However, with careful control measures, vaccination and drugs, these diseases can be dealt with.